We're Yoga. Welcome to YogaCare, and yes, this meeting is being recorded. It will only record what you're seeing here and what's being screen shared. So your faces, your videos will not be recorded. I can assure you of that. Yeah, we'll be sharing the video so you can have all of the wellness recipes and fun and dance party and all sorts of nutritious delights later on to watch this again. Yeah, follow us on all the socials if you haven't already. And oh, just as a reminder too, we are in the last days of our fiscal year, which ends June 30th. Starting fiscal year 2022, July 1st. So we do have a campaign going on, looking for support beyond the pandemic, which we know will continue and in all its iterations. But asking folks to be the rainbow after the storm and after this storm and weather the next storms with us. So please check that out on our socials. We've got links to sustaining the pandemic, and hope you can join us there and spread the word. Yeah, so we're gonna jump right in with some agreements for the session. And as usual, if you've been here before, you'll know these, but we are part of the Socially Engaged Yoga Network and go by these community agreements to be present and listen with each other, respect everyone's thoughts and opinions as we share. We like to keep things in-house here. What happens here stays here. But if someone shares something personal, if they're like, oh, I've got this health condition and something's going on, and looking for some support around that, and we just want to keep that respect here. Practice getting proximate, sitting with discomfort, and just checking yourself in this brave space. Feel free to be who you are in all your colors and all your glory. Pause and breathe before responding, just checking how you react to what's shared. Step up, step back. So if you are somebody who talks a lot and jumps in a lot, maybe step back and offer space for other people to jump in, and vice versa. We hope you don't feel shy to share, but we respect if you want to stay quiet and just listen and take it in. Assume the good from all of our sharing and from what other people share. Impact over intention. This is a key one. Like, while others might have good intentions, we also take responsibility when we say something that's harmful, even if we didn't intend it that way. Feel free to move in ways that support you. See, we've kind of started kicking that off already. And cite the source. If you're sharing something, we want to know where it's coming from, so that we honor all traditions, all paths, all knowledge, and all sources of truth. There we go. Any questions about that, or anything anyone wants to share or add to any of this? Anything we've missed? Anything I can clarify? Dada, how about you? The importance, she says, the importance of rest. Yes, rest is really key.
She's listening.
Spoken from, yeah, she's turning towards me. Spoken from a wise creature. All right. Well, I don't see anything coming, so why don't we move on to the next piece. And welcome to Deb's Kitchen.
Hey, everybody. How are you today? And I'm so happy you came to visit me. This is so nice. So we're going to first talk about a few things, but before we really begin, this is sort of a disclaimer. I just want you to be aware that I am definitely not a medical doctor. I am not a chiropractor. I'm not a naturopath, and I'm not a clinical nutritionist. I'm a yoga teacher for many years, meditation, and just enjoying life. And so the recipes or the blends that I'm going to share with you all is really based on a couple of things. One, my family was really into kind of organic gardening and healthy eating when I was a little girl. And my father was from Trinidad, and he brought with him a lot of the things in terms of herb knowledge and all of that. And of course, many of you know my aunt, Rebecca Love, known as Becky Love. And in addition to her being quite a character, she was a really, really good cook. And she had an organic garden. And so I was there as a little girl, kind of in the yard with her, learning about soil and planting and all that. And so there's some family lineage in terms of doing what I do. In addition, I am a big reader. And so I try to research as much as I can, but my approach is pretty much definitely checking with my medical doctors who are friends as well as my primary, asking a lot of questions, but I do a lot of reading independently. And there are a lot of wonderful health practitioners that we probably all know. And I confer with them often in terms of their opinion and their insights and their experiences. And so I kind of take all of that in developing the daily kind of practices that I have in terms of health and nutrition and supplements and things like that. But I must say this, it really is very, very unique to the individual, right? Everybody has their own chemical makeup, their own compositions, your own homeostasis, if you will. And so I would really encourage you when you go to your MD for tests that you have really extensive tests like blood composition, calcium, magnesium, the vitamin mineral levels in your body. And when you take those extra tests, then you get the results and you can look at it and have a discussion with knowledge so that you can determine, okay, I'm a little low in my vitamin B. What do they advise and what can I do to supplement to help with B? Many people are vegans or vegetarians, and so there is a tendency for anemia or low vitamin B. So you want to pick that up, right? And of course, as we're getting older, especially with women, we have calcium, magnesium challenges from time to time. But all that to say, check with your doctor, be very candid with him or her, and get the test so that you can begin to read your blood chemistry and know what things are good for you and what things you may need to stay away from. And so what I'm going to share with you today are 3 or 4 smoothies to begin with that are really favorites. And friends of mine are always asking, okay, can you make me a smoothie? And, how do you make milk out of seeds and nuts? So we're going to talk about that. But instead of me doing all the talking, because I'm going to be busy in the kitchen, I'll share and all that. But please feel free to, join in on the conversation, share what you add to your smoothies. I'm interested in knowing. And then let's create a dialogue, because I'm sure that we all have special ingredients and things that we put in our smoothies. And I must say, I was over at Darlene's house, and she may not remember this, but she made a smoothie. And actually, I had not been using mango so much. And so she used mango in her smoothie, and I said, that's a great idea. So we all learn from each other. And this wellness circle is primarily about you feeling free to discuss and share and ask questions. So here we go. You can change the slide. So you can change the slide again and again. So let me tell you the story about my kitchen. I had a huge house, right? And a big kitchen. And right now, I've gone from like 2,500 square feet to 800 square feet. And so that posed the issue because I was one of those kind of people where I had maybe 4 or 5 different dining dishware sets. And I had all 3 or 4 different silverware sets and this and that, you know, old school, right? And I went to thrift stores and family pass along things. And I had all of that and I lined it up and I said, I can't use all this in my kitchen. So I've got to go from a big kitchen down to a very, very small kitchen. So come on in, let me show you. So in this small space, of course, fridge, oven, microwave, which I rarely use. And basically, I have let go of so many pots and pans and appliances, and I just kept the things that I really felt that I was going to use day to day, right? So think about your kitchen. It is your sanctuary, and I must say, when I got rid of a whole lot of stuff, it really freed me, not only physically, but emotionally. I didn't feel like I had to contend with so much in terms of all these pots and pans and utensils and all that. So think about how you have your kitchen, because we cook or we do something in our kitchen every day. You want to make it such that you want to have fun in your kitchen space. You don't want clutter. And it just makes it easier in your preparation of whatever your favorite dishes are or your favorite smoothies, right? So think about how your kitchen is organized, what you can give away, maybe to the Goodwill or a family in need, you know, appliances or whatever, dishware. So just something for you to think about. How is your kitchen organized? And can you move in the space happily and without a lot of clutter? And can your cooking, can your food preparation be joyous and be happy? Now, I don't know if any of you can hear it, but usually when I'm preparing food, I have my Bluetooth speaker, and today is Prince Day. So like, I'm working it. I'm ready for Prince while I'm doing the blend. So make your environment happy. If you like the TV, turn your TV on. If it's music, turn on your favorite music. Make it fun, make it light, okay? All right, so let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about cooking items. Now, I just mentioned to you all the stuff I purged, right? But there were some mainstays that I knew that I was going to use every day. So I knew that I was going to use a powerful juicer. Come on with me. So I have 3 different kinds of juices, right? I have what we know as the Ninja, and you see that a lot. The Ninja is great, it's quick, it's easy. And then I have this blender, which I must say to you, when I was going to a Qigong training, they were talking about this at the Qigong session. And this is by Supreme Science. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, what's the big deal about this blender as opposed to the Ninja, as opposed maybe even to the Active, which is super old. Okay, so she can go to the next, she can go live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a little closer here.
Yeah, because I really want you to see it.
Can you spotlight me, Michaeline?
Sure can, just 1 second.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. You here? There we go.
All right.
Coming in.
So what's interesting about these three blenders is that I use it for three different uses. I use them for
All right.
give it up for production.
How about now? Great.
So this I do quick smoothies with. The Ninja's really nice. Now I am not endorsing any particular products. I'm just sharing what I use. So you don't have to run out or this is the only one. There are many, many, many different types. But this is for the quick things that we're going to do this morning or this afternoon in terms of smoothies. It's really nice. But there is a huge difference between the Ninja and the Supreme and this. I can put in a whole avocado seed. If I'm adding an avocado seed, it will pulverize it and then blend in whatever I'm doing. And so it is a monster of a blender. It is super powerful. And so again, I'm using different blenders based on what I'm doing at the time. And so again, I'm not endorsing any particular one, but this one, if I have heavy duty seeds that I want to pulverize and I want to add into my smoothies, my vegetables or fruit juices or even soups. And then the Acme is a really well-known, and it's been around for ages. And I do a lot of my carrot juicing and vegetable juicing with beets and apples and all that with this. So again, it depends on what kind of time you have. You may want to do something quick. You may have time where you can just really work with it. And, you know, they're totally different, but they're all great. So the other two I gave away because I'm a minimalist lab. So that is a little talk about the blenders. Now, the other thing is that we all have a lot of dishware pans, right? Again, I'm not endorsing these people, but I find this particular set really cool. Really cool. So, okay, I'm going to talk about two things. I have glass cookware, no aluminum, none of that, and Teflon and all that. This pan is by a company called Green Pan. And again, I'm not endorsing them, but check them out. This is so easy to clean and just wonderful. And it's made out of, you know, non-synthetic stuff. It's very healthy and all that. Green Pan is one of my favorites. And then I also have ceramic cookware from Dr. Nicola. If any of you are aware of him, he on his website, he talks about cookware. He really encourages people to look at healthy cookware. Oh, great, it's taking all of my cabinet. Oh my God.
Oh, look at that ceramic.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And the ceramic is wonderful. And I got the small set because it's only me right now. But this is a wonderful heavy duty ceramic, no lead, no any of that. And it's pretty heavy. And so, you know, like usually in the winter or something, when I'm really doing more hardy stuff, and I'll use things like this.
You know, Deb, as I'm looking at all of your cooking utensils, the colors and the styles, like it all matters, right?
Yes,
it's
it
beautiful.
does.
It's
Yes,
like
it does.
part of the cooking experience that makes it joyful.
Yeah. And we want to have fun. We want to have fun while we're cooking. So everybody has their own, right? So I'm just curious, how many people have blenders at home and what kind do you have? Are you using something to juice your carrot apple or whatever the fruits are? believe everybody's quiet. Quiet.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Bring us into your kitchen too.
Yeah.
My blender is really old
So,
and I share it with 3 roommates.
I think what we're going to do, and we can go to the next slide. Thank you very much. So, in addition to the utensils and appliances, especially these days, we know we have to use some care in reading of labels of ingredients, the herbs, things, right? And so, I have a number of herbs that are kind of my favorite. And again, I'm not endorsing them necessarily, but I really, really do like the Simply True or Simple True garlic. And of course, it's always good to have your fresh garlic. But if you're in a pinch or you're hurrying, it's great. And this company, Jada Spices, again, I'm not endorsing, but they have this turmeric and it's vegan and it's wonderful. They also have a barbecue flavor and it's so cool.
Just in time for summer.
Yes. Yeah. I actually sprinkle it on my popcorn when I'm eating that.
Yum.
And then they have a reduced sodium chicken salt. Now this product, these people are all vegan. And it's interesting because I would buy it from Whole Foods, but then Whole Foods, for whatever reason, certain Whole Foods weren't carrying it. So I did go to Amazon and got it there, and they're all all-purpose seasonings. So you can really enjoy them. And ground cumin, I use simply organic, fresh black pepper. And again, we have organic onion powder. And so, you know, most of you pretty much probably have the same kind of thing. I have a bag here that I have both more, you know, so.
Oh, and we have a in the chat, Sunny's shared Vitamix and NutriBullet.
Yes, 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 that's great, Sunny. And hi. So in terms of oils, I have a preference for this particular brand of extra virgin olive oil. Pete's has a Greek oil. This is really very nutritious.
Is that single source?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes. And then this particular, I've tried several, but I like Pete's avocado oil. And now remember, avocado oil is for more high heat, extra virgin mild.
Really great point.
So that's a little bit, and then of course, boy, you all are all in my kitchen.
All up in your business.
So my fridge, I do love this milk because it doesn't have Caribbean in it, which is a challenge. We're going to make some seed milk today, but I kind of have not an overabundance because I like fresh eating. And so I just have an array of different super green food, my supplements, some of them I keep refrigerated. Walnuts I keep refrigerated just to keep them fresh, and raisins and vegetables and avocados and things like that. So, and when I'm lazy, then I use the Bolthouse Farms organic carrot juice. So otherwise, I have fresh carrots that I juice. They're all organic. And so there you have it.
Can I share something, Deb?
Absolutely.
As I'm looking into your fridge, thinking of my own, and like you, like I buy enough to kind of have it fresh, and then sometimes, you know, I don't want things to go to waste, and sometimes when we buy a lot of fresh things, they can go to waste even in the fridge, even with our best intentions. One thing that I do when I notice something like needs to be eaten and is kind of, you know, getting to that point, I'll put it like on a higher shelf so that when I open it, like that'll tell me, oh, I need to eat that first, and so that I kind of keep that cycle going and reduce waste and still get the freshness. So
what do you guys do? How do you organize your fridge? What kinds of things are needed? And I know in my case, for a while there, I would do a weekly purge and kind of look and say, you know what, this isn't looking too good. So, you know, we want to keep it fresh. And so when you go to the grocery store, and I know it sounds weird, but I have a list because I don't want to overbuy or, oh, I see this or I see that. So I'm real definitive about, okay, I need some broccoli, I need asparagus. Speaking of asparagus, got a joke for you. Okay, so what did the vegetable say to the fifth dimension? Singing group. Give you a hint. The singing group, I know some of you may not know, fifth dimension. I'll give you a second.
What did the vegetables say to the carrot?
What did the vegetable say to the singing
To the
group,
singing
the fifth dimension? This is the dawning of the age of asparagus. Did anybody laugh?
I'm an Aquarius, so I love that one. So, and you know, we're in the age of Aquarius right now, everybody.
That's right.
We're fully in it as of the December conjunction of the solstice, the winter solstice. 6 months ago already.
That's right, already.
It's all about unity in
Yeah.
this age.
Yeah.
Truly.
So we're gonna move to the next slide, and we're going to don't let Greg step on you, baby. We're just making.
Hello there. Hello there. Would you like some asparagus?
So the first smoothie that we're gonna make is a very traditional fruit smoothie, but I want you to think about what you add to your base, because that base could be either water, purified water, or it could be some kind of fruit juice base, or it could be, it could be any kind of base that you want to start with. Now, I usually start with water base, or I use a freshly squeezed orange juice. So we're just going to experiment. And remember, this is very open. You can think about what you do. I'd love to hear about how you're preparing your base. We're going to start with fruit smoothie. And so what I'm going to do today, I think I'm going to add orange juice, mango, maybe some frozen blueberries, which I usually get fresh, but in a pinch. Organic blueberries are great. And I'll throw in a few, let's see, maybe some strawberries, maybe a banana. So let's do it. So I will use my measuring cup, because I don't want to make too much, because I don't like to waste. And I don't know if Greg is drinking smoothie today or not.
Oh, twist my arm.
So I'm putting in basically like a cup and maybe a half of orange juice. Now, I must say, I usually do freshly squeezed orange juice. This is pulp free because I cannot have pulp, and it is not a concentrate. And so I start off with that as my base. So I've got my juice. And then I'm going to put in, and again, this is unique. Today, I'm going to put in a little turmeric. And what I do is take like a half a dropper full, and I put that in.
And why turmeric?
Because it's an anti-inflammatory, and Michael Lane may add some additional information regarding that.
Why turmeric is healthy?
You there, Michael Lane?
Yeah, we're talking about why turmeric is healthy.
So while she's thinking about that, I'm adding a little bit of vitamin D, just a little. Again, each person will use the kinds of supplements in your juices based on what's healthiest and wise and good for you. So I always add a little bit. Then I add in, of all things, I know you're going, cod liver oil, but it's really, really good. And it has, of course, omega-3s and vitamin A and D. I am saying Carlson is a wonderful, wonderful company. Yeah. And so I don't measure it because I know people I share will say, well, exactly how much are you putting in? I'm just putting it in. I'm not overdoing it. Maybe a tablespoon. So far, orange juice, turmeric, and a little cod liver oil. And it may change his mind now. So what else am I going to add? Let's add some strawberries. So we got our organic strawberries. And I'm going to add yellow mango. And then I want you to walk with me because I am going to also take some greens.
Check this amazing thing out.
From the vertical garden.
We're going to outer space. Meet this alien planet in the corner here.
I am going to take from this and harvest a little bit of arugula. So I'm going to harvest a little of that. And some of them are a little dried out, so we don't want those.
And Michaeline, just so everyone can see the detail, maybe we can stop the PowerPoint for a sec so we can zoom in on the photo image. Awesome. Oh, look at all that green. It's so healing just looking at the green.
So we're going to
Thank you, Michaeline. We got some arugula there.
Arugula. And then you'll see the little baby tomatoes. And I'm growing eucalyptus and basil, which we're going to use for our soup later. Collards, mint. This is mint. This is lavender, St. John's wort. So it's really cool. And then I have some baby gourmet spinach that's growing.
Is that parsley over there or carrots?
It is, oh, that's edible flowers. Oh. This one is edible flowers. Oh, we'll take some of that as well.
And Deb, do you want to share what this is?
This is
for
a
folks
vertical
who've never
garden,
seen before?
And I had garden space at my house. But then I realized that I no longer have that. I'm in an apartment now. And so I really wanted to figure out how I could continue growing. And so now keep in mind that this is a wonderful one. It holds 20 gallons or so of water, purified water. And the water essentially is going up through the tube, if you will, and then watering where you plant your seeds there. And Sunny, you may want to chime in on this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. It looks beautiful, Deb. Wow. Yeah, I grow with the vertical garden also, and it truly has been game changing. It's almost like having a fridge right there, and you don't have to question, where did your produce come from? How long has it been on the shelf? So it truly has been a game changer. And Deb, you started everything from seeds, right?
Yes, everything was started with organic seeds. And I had so much growing from it that I had to cut away or harvest a lot of it and put it in bags and take it to friends, because it was really, it's only me. And so it was way too much. But there's an array of different vegetables and things, kale, collards, mustards that you can grow. Of course, you see the peppers, herbs, and things like that. And even if you were to get a vertical garden like this, which is very compact, it fits well in the small apartment. But they have miniature ones, or smaller ones that you can consider as well, that fit on the tabletop. So that is the vertical garden.
Amazing.
So we're taking a few of the greens and we're going to add it
Back to the
into
kitchen.
the smoothie. Any questions at all? Everybody's so quiet.
I think they're just mesmerized.
We're just putting in the greens. And we didn't use a lot of greens, just a little bit. Also, if you want to add additional greens and you don't have fresh greens from the grocery store or whatever, sometimes I will add, and again, there are many, many green products. I like these people, Amazing Grass, Super Green Food. And this one is a lemon lime flavor. And so sometimes I will take maybe not even a whole a dipper, if you will, and I'll add that in to get the extra properties of rich greens, but there's nothing like having fresh greens in your smoothies. So again, and some people go, ugh, you're adding vegetables with the fruits, and try it, try it. So we have the wonderful organic strawberries. Oh, they smell so good, don't they, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take maybe 3 or 4 and wash them.
I see that mango there too.
Yes.
Is that a honey mango?
It's called a yellow mango, and it's super sweet
Mm-hmm.
and pretty luscious.
They go really well with dark chocolate too.
Don't say that. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna make sure, and then I have a little brush that I use. And I brush my fruit. And you know, because strawberries are so gentle and so tender, but I just want to make sure that they are, you know, because people handle them, and you know, the whole manufacturing of putting them in the containers and all that. And then I cut off the top.
That's a really good point, Deb, because often I'll just, open this container, this plastic container, put it over the water and spray water in and call it a day. But I like the thoroughness that you're doing with getting things off of,
Yeah.
It's a more thorough job than.
Yeah, and then too, it depends if you have time. And I would say when it comes to your nutrition, you want to make time, and you want to take your time and do things that are going to make you happy, and that's going to be nutritious. So I'm just going to rinse this off a little bit and scrub it, give it a little bath. Even though we're not using the skin at all on this, but I like to just start off by making it clean. And also, I don't know about you all, but because my kitchen is so small, I clean as I go, because otherwise it's just way, way too much. Let's see what we can do on this soft spot. So I'm just taking, isn't that wonderful? Oh my God. Oh, so delicious. So I'm gonna take a spoon. And the reason I'm taking the spoon, because sometimes when I'm cooking and I use a knife, I make a mess. And so I'd rather be safe sometimes. And so I'm just cutting a little of the mango. Now this is the part Darlene she had a smoothie and had mango, and I said, okay, I'm adding that in. So
Mhm.
Darlene, I got it from you, thanks.
So I was just cutting up a bunch of mangoes for my partner's birthday party last night, and one thing I do is like I'll use a potato peeler and peel the skin off, and then cut it like lengthwise, like crisscross, and then take the knife down the top along the pit and just like
I
have
should
little
have had you
chunkiness.
do it. Well, Greg is production, so, you know, he can't
I
do
like-
all of it at one time, but that's a great idea.
There's more than one way to cut a mango.
Yeah.
Oh, Sunny says it's called the ultimate in self-care.
That's right, Sonny. So we have here, oh, let's go in. Now, what do you want? What's the vote? Do you want,
Taking a poll.
do you want a banana or do you want blueberries?
Mm.
Let's take a poll. What does it look like?
Don't be shy.
Blueberries.
What was that?
Blueberries.
Blueberries. Oh, we have
There we have
another
it.
vote for blueberries. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, I would encourage you to have everything as fresh as possible all the time. You know, because it really does make a difference. But when I do not have time or when the prices are really high on the
Mm.
blueberries because of capitalism,
Mhm.
then I go and get the organic blueberries actually from Costco. And these are really, really good, no preservatives, and they're frozen. And so it's an easy and quick way for me to have the blueberries. And I must say, blueberries are something that I have every day because I have like computer eyes. I work on the computer so much, and blueberries and bilberries and lutein, all of the berries are really, really helpful for your vision. And so I'll take a cup of the blueberries and I just rinse them again. And I'm adding the blueberries in. So remember what I had here. In any recipe, you can always email me at deb@yogacareus.org and I can send you the recipes. And normally I do put a lot more fresh greens in. So we have blueberries, we have the turmeric, we have the little pinch of the cod liver. We have the greens, the edible flower greens, and the arugula. And then we have the base, in this case, as orange juice. Again, your base can be whatever you want it to be. And so we put it in this particular one. We don't need the high power.
Get ready for some noise.
Oh, that's hot. What's happening? Hold on, let's see what's going on. Oh. It's not on well. Ta-da, I'm getting ready to turn the blender on, so don't panic. Don't panic, take it
And she's
easy.
coming over. Just yeah, you looking for some scraps?
Ooh.
Right there. All right.
Fruit smoothie with the little vegetables in it.
Oh, look at the color. Came out really, all those blueberries.
Let's take a look inside. And this device is really kind of nice. You know, it's easy, it's quick.
Thanks for that
So-
tip, Sunny, about the frozen versus fresh blueberries.
Yes, yes. All righty. Here you are, production.
Oh, thank you. Is there enough for Dada too?
Yeah, Dada can't have any right now.
No.
So that is
Mm.
a vegetable
Blueberry.
smoothie, I mean, a fruit smoothie that I really like a lot. And again, be imaginative and use the things that you love, the fruits that you love. You know, there's no regimentation. Every day I make a different kind of smoothie. It's a fruit smoothie. And let me show you something while I'm thinking
Oh,
about it.
that is delicious.
I also, because bananas get
Ooh.
so yucky so quick,
Mm.
and my Aunt Becky said to me, this is how she did it. And ever since is how I do it. When I
Ah.
buy fresh bananas that are organic, what I do is I wrap them individually, either in, they have double, triple bank that, but I freeze my bananas. And in that way, I'm not adding ice and all that kind of stuff when I'm making a smoothie. I don't know where people got adding all this ice when they make their fruit smoothies, but I wrap the bananas individually, I freeze them, and then I pop them in the smoothie as needed.
Mm.
And it really works well, and it makes it nice and robust and just wonderful. So you can do this with any of your fruits. I just, like, I'm a banana person, you know, banana. So I like having a lot of bananas that I individually wrap, and I keep, and I keep them in this bag, and so I can use them whenever. So, and yes, I wrap them by triple wrapping, and the reason being is I don't like the freezer. After a while, it turns stuff. I don't know if they call it freezer burn or something, but if I package it like this, then I don't tend to have the bananas stay fresh, and they smell good, and they just keep better. So I put them in a Ziploc bag. And then, so yeah, bananas, but use any fruit that you want.
Sunny says, thanks for the great tip.
That is great. So that was the fruit smoothie. I'm gonna put this.
We have a question.
Oh, yes.
From Sunny. What do you wrap them in?
At Whole Foods, I keep saying Whole Foods, but they have a more natural cellophane like, and then sometimes I will also use parchment paper, and I'll wrap the banana in that and then put it in a bag. That's a great question, Sunny. So it just depends, but yeah, aluminum foil and all that stuff, I try to stay away from, and you know, we do the best we can do, right? So that is for the fruit smoothie. So I'm gonna just put this in the fridge for now. And then we're gonna move on to a vegetable smoothie. But I think what I'll do, I'm gonna deviate today a little bit, because with a vegetable smoothie, obviously I would be using, for the most part, my Acme juicer. But because of time and a number of other things, and again, this is not necessarily a product endorsement, but I really, really do like Bohouse Farm Organics. Now, see, they're funny because in most Whole Foods, they don't have the organic carrot juice, they have the carrots. So I have to go to another Whole Foods where I see the organics. Now you probably say, well, how do you know it could be? Well, we don't know, but I like it when it says organics on the bottle. So we're gonna make a vegetable smoothie. And what we will do, I think, yes. So it's also nice with the Ninja that you have 3 or 4 of these. It makes it easy in case you're making multiple juices in one setting. So if you were juicing this, you would use your organic carrots, right? And usually my favorite drink is beet, carrot, and apple juice. Beet, carrot, and apple. But today I'm gonna do carrot. And also I'm gonna pick a few more greens.
Ooh. Get to go over to the vertical garden again.
So we're gonna take another little trip to the garden. And you know, the other thing about it, just thinking about all the different appliances and the stuff you can buy. I mean, they have a heck of a lot of products out here, you know, utensils and blenders and all that. You know, just do what you think is best. It doesn't have to be a certain brand. Just make it something that's affordable, accessible to you, and easy to use. Easy to use. So let's go and harvest a little more.
Well, the dance walk over to the garden.
So I'm gonna go in the back here. Well, I'll take some edible flowers for one.
Sunny says, like yoga, these tools are a daily practice. Is that
Yeah.
what you're
Sort of
saying?
Squeeze it here. And I'm gonna take some of it here.
Again, all this green, just, you know, there's research on this. Like, I don't know that we need research to prove this, that looking at nature, being in nature is healing. So just having all this greenness and this live freshness around is just healing, just to have it in your presence and to focus your eyes on it.
I think we'll add a little mint.
You know, in the fruit smoothie, I could taste the arugula, like I've never tasted arugula before. It was like the arugula, the sweetness with that arugula
Yes.
peppery. It was just,
It's interesting.
yeah.
So we got our,
Look at that.
and again, you could have much more. Again, I've got to, you know, plant more, and I have a few that are starting, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so we're gonna rinse this, and then we're gonna switch gears. And I'm gonna talk about how to make a smoothie because of time with seeds.
Now, Deb, would you ever put like seed milk or almond milk or something in one of these that we're creating with the fruit or the vegetable?
You know what, you certainly could. And again, when you think about making smoothies, it's really depending on your taste, you know, what things are pleasurable to you and nutritious for you. But yes, definitely. So the next thing that we're going to do after I blend this up is we're going to switch gears, because I know a number of people have asked me about how to make your own milk. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to make one rather quickly. So we have the carrot and we have the fresh greens. And of course, I could supplement again with the green powder or the super green. But I think on this one, I'm going to add something a little different. And what I'm adding to it is called Them and Bigger. Again, not a product endorsement. Long story short, this is primarily, well, let's see, there are a number of things. There is garlic, there are herbs, and most importantly, there is apple cider vinegar from the mother. So that is what this product is. And usually what I do, this is a secret. When I buy products that I really like and I read the label, I just learn how to make it myself and then refill it. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah. So this is organic apple cider and ginger and apple juice and all that. So I add it when I run out of this, then I'm not paying the people $40 or $50 for this. I'm just saying. So I've shaken it up a little bit. I'm adding just a little bit. And again, there are many benefits to apple cider vinegar. You want to keep your body alkaline, for one, because we're highly acidic. And so it's a great way to do that. I'm going to wash the...
Yeah, you mentioned alkaline and acidic. I noticed this chart on your fridge about that too. And in my earlier yoga training, we learned about alkaline diets and acidic and the benefits of a more alkaline diet. But again, depending on your constitution and depending on all sorts of things.
And to be very honest, I think most of you or some of you know that I do have a health challenge. I have hypothyroid. And so a lot of what I do is based on what my body needs in terms of maintaining and having better functioning thyroid and parathyroid glands. So for those of you that are here in the kitchen with us today, when you talk to your doctor, you look at your blood tests, your labs, have the conversation with your MD and also with maybe a clinical nutritionist and have them help you formulate a plan that's going to maintain and keep you as healthy as you can be as we go through the aging process. It's really important. So I change up based on the labs, based on my consultations, because we shift, right? We don't stay the same all the time. And so sometimes if I know that my energy level's low, then I will, say, okay, let me see what I'm doing. Am I lacking B because I don't eat a whole lot of meat, or what exactly is going on? But I do confer medically so that I am on the same page and I'm not dictating to them what to do.
Exactly. Thanks for sharing that, Deb. And I can share, I have lupus, and I try to keep an anti-inflammatory diet as well. With a lot of autoimmune conditions are based on inflammation and trying to keep the inflammation low. So I definitely know what you mean about managing that with diet and consulting with your healthcare practitioner team too.
Yeah, and the truth of it is we're all getting older, and our bodies are continuously shifting. And like, I'm 67, right? And so I'm trying to maximize within reason without freaking out. I'm just trying to do the best I can. And so when there are days where I feel my energy's low and that I need more rest, then I rest. I don't have to do yoga necessarily or run or bike. I rest. And so we really have to, make a note of how we feel and what the activity level should be. We should all be balanced and paced in all that we do. Dada, I'm gonna give you a little of this later.
Well, that one came out more yellow than the other one.
Right. And, I would love to hear from you all to tell me and share what your favorite blends are, because everybody's got something different that they do. And so I'd like to hear, if you want to see, I'm minimalist. I'm a minimalist. This is it.
Pretty. Look at all the colors.
And these cups are made in the USA. There's no China. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna make this. And that is
Thank you
a
for that.
nice, quick, remember, carrot base with the greens.
Mm,
And I added in, you know, just the edible flowers and things like that. So
here we go.
cheers.
Cheers.
Now Dada is gonna want some of this, but we're gonna give it to you later, Dada.
No girl. Good girl.
So I'm gonna switch gears here because of time. And we're gonna talk about what I think a lot of people are really interested in about this whole deal with making your own milk. So again, the milk that I'll use, or shall I say the almond milk that I'll use, this is a really good company.
Mhm.
And note that it says 40% more calcium than milk. The story is, the backdrop is that my aunt and I used to travel to Indiana, where we would go to one of her friends who was a farmer, and he had cows, and we learned how to milk from the cow.
Mhm.
And we would take these huge containers there, and we would get our fresh milk, right? Raw milk. But now remember, it was raw. So then we would have to bring it home, and we would cook it at a certain temperature so it's not carrying any bacteria, right? Pasteurizing, if you will. And so we would go there for years. And then unfortunately, his tractor had broken down on the road. And as he was working on his tractor, someone hit him and he died. And so his family, the farm went under. And so, you know, we were talking about, okay, it's, you know, unauthorized for you to have milk like that really during those days.
Mm.
And so then we started doing our milk with a couple of things. One, with hemp seeds, organic hemp seeds, right? So this again, I think I got this at, I think I got it at Costco, but they do have this at Whole Foods, but I like this organic hemp hearts. So we're gonna use hemp seeds for that. And also, if I have raw nuts, then I'll use those. Now, these are organic, raw, whole cashews, unsalted, unroasted. So raw, right? So with the milk, I'm gonna use 2 simple ingredients. The hemp seeds. This is a very good pH water, Essentia.
My favorite.
Yeah, your favorite, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add not to the top. That's about it for now, just to give you an idea. So I'm filling the water in, then I'm going to use 2 to 3 tablespoons level of the hemp hearts. Now, let me just say this, you can use, I've used cashew seeds, and I've soaked them overnight in purified water so they're nice and soft. You can use almonds that are raw. You can use sunflower seeds that are raw. Today, we're using the hemp. But yeah, you can be creative and use different types of seeds and nuts for your milk. This is how it looks. So I'm going to put in 2 level tablespoons. Maybe I'll add another.
Doesn't hemp come from marijuana?
I don't know about that.
Can you get high off hemp? Well, there's a common misconception that it does come from the same plant,
That's true.
but
It sure does.
not the part that can.
This
That
is being
makes you
recorded,
crazy.
so I'm not going to talk about my history with that. So now you can add to it Now, what I do is add a raw, unfiltered honey. I have relatives that live in Florida, so they often send me jars of fresh honey from their beehive. But you can add just a little, not much, of the raw honey. So it'll give it kind of like a nice little sweetness to it.
Yeah. One thing I've learned over the years is local honey to where you live.
Yes.
If you have allergies, like it's better to get honey from closer to where you live. It has something to do with the bees and the pollen and your system adjusting. I'm no medical doctor either, but just things I've heard over the time.
Yeah, honey is so nutritious. And I'll tell you, one of the favorite honeys that I love, but it is so hard to find these days, is called Tupelo honey. And I don't know if that's from Tupelo, Mississippi or what, but you find plenty of clover, plenty of orange blossom, but you don't find much of that. So here, now this is going to be noisy for about 2 minutes. Oh, Dada, it's okay, baby. It's okay. No, it's okay. I said it's okay, Dad. So, your own hemp milk. So, when you go to Whole Foods and you see the pre-cartons, of hemp, of almond, of oat, or you can make your own. You can do rice milk. This is the same concept. You're cooking your rice, brown rice, basante rice, jasmine rice, quinoa. So you can make it like this. And I must say to you that not only is it more nutritious for you, because you're really, it's probably not wise that they call it a milk, but you can see the consistency. And it really is luscious.
Yum. Yeah, I've made my own cashew milk before. It's just, and then even I've strained it. Some recipes recommend straining it.
Strained, yeah. So,
to each their own, right?
Well, that's a good point, though. And you should probably soak like if you're using cashews or almonds, you soak it in your purified water.
That's right.
And then actually, once you drain that water off, you can use the water for your plants or things like that. And so that's really a yummy, yummy milk. Are there any questions about this? Because I know I get a lot of questions about this milk. Everybody's okay with that? And let me have a swig of it, excuse me.
Cheers.
That's good. That is good.
Oh, and back to turmeric, I did see your comment, Michaeline. I think we had the volume off on the camera over here. That turmeric has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, and sometimes with a dash of black pepper, you were saying, can help activate it. So good to know. Thanks for sharing that nutrition tip.
Introduce her, by the way.
Yeah, Michaeline is her first wellness circle with us. I believe, where are we?
It is.
Time has gotten away from me these days. Don't know where I'm at, but Michaeline is on board for the summer with us as a public health intern, has a background in nutrition and is studying public health. Michaeline, please share more if you'd like.
No, you nailed it. I'm getting my master's in public health nutrition right now. My undergrad degree is in dietetics. So I love food, I love nutrition, and everything really, and I love yoga. So it's a great day for me today. Food, nutrition, and yoga stuff.
Lovely.
Ah.
Ooh.
So we're
Switching.
switching gears now to the soup. I make two variations.
Oh, and
Hold on.
we could switch. Can you screen share the back to the soup one, Michaeline? Michaeline's also
can.
our tech support for today. So very grateful.
Sorry about that production.
Oh, here we go. So here's the
So-
recipe on your screen, everybody.
So I make two kinds of mushroom soup that people really enjoy. One is a broth base and the other is a cream base. So today, to be a little different, I decided to start with a cream base mushroom soup. So this is the cream, and I'm gonna share with you guys what I made it with, because it would have taken time for all that. So first of all, I had to decide what the base would be.
Let's get a close up on this soup again. We got a little mushroom assortment in the corner here. Some baby bellas. It looks like some portobellas, and I'm gonna guess those maybe shiitake. I don't know. Devil, let us know.
Sorry.
Here we go.
So what I did is decided what kind of mushroom I was going to use as a base. And what I mean by that is I could have used shiitake and blended that up, but I used instead portobello. So I took portobello mushrooms, and this is what they look like in their raw state. And they're beautiful mushrooms, just so beautiful. So that's a portobello mushroom, and I dice it up with my food processor. I think I used maybe about 7 or 8 of them. And then along with the portobello, I use fresh garlic, and I use some of the hemp milk. And I think in this case, yesterday I made this during the evening, almond. It was almond. Or if you don't feel like doing all that, you can get something like this and add it in. And then you can also add in, and I love using this, Bob's Red Mill buckwheat flour. So I added all that in, blended it up, and made this. So portobello is my base. Portobello mushrooms, fresh garlic. We're going to get some basil and add it in from the tower garden or the vertical garden. And then whatever herbs that you really like to add, I try to keep a minimum on the salt, low sodium. And so that's the base. Are there any questions about the base? No questions?
Where do the onions come in?
Well, I can dice up onions and put that in after I add the fresh mushrooms.
That's after. It's not part of the base itself.
It's not part of the base.
Okay.
Yeah, like these are baby bella mushrooms. There's some shiitake mushrooms here. So I just add that in after I add the onions and things like that.
Nice. Gives it some texture.
Yeah, so that's the plan. Any questions about that? None? Okay. So
back to the garden.
Back.
Plant there.
Yes, it is. And look how thick.
Yeah, with the stem there.
Out of this little pocket.
And you don't even need dirt. Look at that.
That's right. Rock wool, and your seeds go in the little hole.
You know, in the future, all of the high rises in big cities are going to be lined with this stuff.
Well, they have rooftop gardens, and it's great. But this works perfect for my space.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna rinse it off, even though it's no soil, so it's pure, it's fresh, it's uncontaminated, right? That's the other thing you want to think about. And so I would take the fresh basil, and we're going to watch our time here, but I would dice it up, put it in the base. Then I would add my assorted mushrooms. And because my base is portobello, I don't need these. I'm just going to add the shiitake mushrooms and the bella mushrooms. And so again, in terms of how many you're going to use, totally up to you. You could take a handful or whatever, but the base, you don't need a whole lot, and so I'll just sprinkle in maybe half of the container of this. And then I'll probably dice up maybe half of the shiitakes and add the onion, add the basil, and that's it. So I happen to use the Instapot. And the reason that I like it is that this is not aluminum. This is stainless steel. And so it is cooking in stainless steel. That is really, really important in terms of health and all that. And so I just put it in the Instapot. And again, I'm not endorsing any particular products, but I sit it in after I've added everything, and then I turn it on slow. And once I do that, I put the lid on, of course, and then I let it cook. So even like if you don't want, especially with the weather being so hot and muggy and humid, you may want to make a cold soup or a warm soup or whatever. So, experiment with it. The mushroom soup can be a broth or it can be a cream base. And in terms of your mushrooms, explore what the farmers markets have in your grocery stores and pick mushrooms that are different than what you normally would try. I don't know how many of you like mushroom soup, but it is so nutritious. And so you'll add your garlic, you'll add your onions, you'll add basil, either dried basil or fresh, and chop that up. You add in your mushrooms, put it in, and let it sit, and just slow cook for an hour or two. And then what I like to do, finally, before we wrap it up, sometimes with my soups, and I've had friends ask me, well, I want to put this on top of brown rice, or I want noodles, or, in addition, makes it a little more hearty, right? So I love Soba Noodles because they are gluten-free and because they are organic and they're wonderful. And so I like this brand, but I go to Chinatown or I go to other places, Asian markets, and get Soba Noodles. They're so nutritious. So I would boil these separately in a pot. And then when they're done, which takes maybe about 8 to 10 minutes, and they're nice and soft and tender, but they're not mushy, right? And so I have that on the side, and then I'll dip out the soup and pour it on top of the Soba Noodles. And it just gives it a little more robust taste and more hearty, but absolutely nutritious. And so this is whole buckwheat flour. This is very different than the conventional flours. I cannot have that nutritionally, so I have to have buckwheat because it assimilates in my system better. And so Soba noodles are good to add in a bowl. So you're adding the soup into the noodles, or you can go with like a jasmine rice. So you cook your rice and add it in. So the whole point is that you really want to get creative about how you're eating and how you're preparing it, right? You want to have fun with it. Everything doesn't have to be a science project. So go to the grocery store, experiment with fruits and vegetables that maybe you've never tried before or curious about. Definitely, I cook many different kinds of soups, some cold soups, some warm, some hot. And I'm a soup fanatic, so I do love my soups and I love to share with people. And in fact, when I finish with this soup, I'll have too much. So if you want some, you gotta come and get it. Because I'm not driving all over the city to give you the soup. But anyway, I hope that this has been kind of enjoyable for you and relaxing. I know that I'd love for you to be in my home and be in my kitchen. I am so thankful to YogaCare for all the great things that you do. And I'm happy and proud to be a team member for YogaCare and with YogaCare. And I must say that Dada has loved being with you too. And we will entertain any questions. And if not, I want you to have a great day. And like Tabitha Brown says, and even if you can have a great day, don't you go messing up anybody else's day. See you later. Peace and blessings.
See you. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, let's take it off take it off screen share, and we'll switch up the video here. Start.
Was delicious.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Deb. This is Sharon speaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Oh, okay. Everything looked delicious.
Right. Welcome back.
Yes.
So,
cod liver oil.
everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. And we had a little technical thing going on, but you know, we're getting our production together.
Well,
So
I
I
got a
am
lot
so
of little
happy
things
that
up
you
here
come
that
and
I took
shared,
notes
and Sharon is showing notes that she's taken.
Yes.
Uh,
All right.
Thank you so much, Sharon, and I'm thankful for each of you to come and share. And again, if you have any questions, if you have any recipes you'd like to share, because we could certainly put that in the newsletter coming up too, feel free to email us. My email is deb@yogacareus.org. And feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for coming, and have a great rest of the day. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Let's stop the recording and entertain any last questions before we sign off. And Laura, so